Do you have tariff conversations on the things that you think you talk about on a real estate video? I didn't. So, first and foremost, this is not a political post, okay? I don't talk politics and business at the same time because, frankly, no matter which side I believe in, the other side needs to buy houses too. Let's not get into that part. So you may be thinking about buying, building, or even renovating a home. And if that's what you're doing, this video is probably for you. We're going to talk about the new tariffs. We're going to talk about the long-term impact they could have and how it's going to impact housing affordability in the near future. Let's get into it. So let's start the conversation off and just say, hey, let's talk about what tariffs are. Tariffs are essentially a tax on goods that are imported in the United States or any government. So it's done for one of two reasons. It's either done one to protect domestic industry, or two to improve trade negotiations to try to get something out of the person that you're putting or the government that you're putting the tariff on. But here's the deal. When you place tariffs on things that are used to construct homes, building materials like lumber, like steel, and like cement, what do you think that's going to do and who that's going to impact? Well, it's going to impact the end user, which is you, the home buyer or seller. First way, higher construction costs. In 2023 alone, the United States, developers in the United States spent 184 billion with a B dollars on building materials. So about 7% of that came from imports. So if you look at that, who are the top three importers that are countries that we import our goods from when it comes to building materials? Number one is Canada, number two is Mexico, and number three is China. Now, if you think about those numbers and you think about what's happening, think about this. For example, we import 30% of the soft lumber that we use to build homes from Canada. Now, if we put a tariff on that soft wood, what's it going to do? It's going to cause the price of that wood to go up, which that price to build is going to go up, which the builder at that point has two choices. He either eats it or he passes it along to the consumer, which you think he's more likely to do. And the cost just doesn't affect the developers like we talked about. Think about this. As the prices for these goods that we import go up, what's it going to do to the price to build a home or the cost to build a home? It's going to drive that up. That's going to have two major impacts. Impact number one, it's going to cause the developer to build fewer homes. Okay? So if they build fewer homes, what's going to happen? They build fewer homes, inventory goes down. Inventory, which is already low, continues to go down. That's going to cause what? The number two effect is going to cause prices to continue to go up, sometimes in a more drastic place than it needs to. The big piece to think about there is all builders really need to do is shift their focus to more luxury and high end homes. So that means there's going to be more expensive homes out there. So who's going to get squeezed out? That first time home buyer and that move up home buyer. They're going to have a hard time finding affordable homes if tariffs on imported goods for housing in particular stay in place. So maybe you already have a house, but maybe your house is coming up on that 20-25 year anniversary and you're thinking about renovating. You're impacted too. The granite that you use, the cabinets that you use, and all the materials that you're going to potentially use to improve your home, that's going to be tariffed. Prices on that's going to go up too. That's something that you have to consider in the whole mix. So number three, and this one right here is the one that as I kept kind of digging into it a little bit, kind of freaked me out a little bit. In inflation and mortgage rates. Now, in February, we did see inflation improve to about 2.8%. But theoretically, what could happen is as prices go up, that's inflationary. So prices go up, inflation starts ticking back up. What's the Federal Reserve do when inflation goes up in order to drive it down? They start increasing interest rates. So as they increase interest rates, what's it going to do to your mortgage rates? It's going to continue to either keep them steady where we really need them to go down to improve affordability, or they're going to raise it. Once they start raising interest rates, housing affordability back out the door. So one thing that you're probably going to say, and a lot of people would say is, and I would say is, well, why can't we make that stuff here in America? Why can't we use our domestic products in order to decrease our prices? Because if we use it domestically, that means we're not importing it. That means we're not having to pay those tariffs, right? Well, the short answer to that is sure, we can certainly do that, but not today. We're not prepared for it. We don't have the infrastructure in place. In 2023, we imported 23 metric tons of cement. The fact of the matter is, we only used about, I think, 90, I got the numbers here, 93 million tons, and we imported 23 of those. We also imported 35% of the steel that we use in our country. So the reality is that gone are the days where everything we could use we made right here. We just don't do that anymore. Could we? Sure. Is it going to take time? Yeah. Is that something that maybe we can look forward to the future? It should absolutely be something we look at. But we ain't ready yet. So I said all that to say this. Are tariffs going to crash the housing market? No, but it's not going to improve affordability. If you're thinking about buying within the next 12 to 18 months, you may have to rethink those things. You may have to make a decision to start sooner or wait till a little bit later, because the reality is these tariffs are going to have an impact on the housing market. So how's this going to affect your individual real estate goals? I don't know, but call me. Let's talk about it. We can figure out what we can do to help you meet your goals in the timeline that it makes the most sense. Hopefully you learned a little bit. I know I usually do, and that's kind of my goal, is to make sure that I'm passing along information to you. Do you agree with my assessment of what tariffs could do to the housing market? Do you disagree? Comment below. Give me a like. Give me a subscribe. All the things. See you next time.